I built a RAG agent that works directly inside Zoho Cliq, so teams can get answers from the internal documents without leaving the chat. Hey guys, I'm Prandir. I'm an AI automation expert. Before I show you how this is built and where it actually makes sense to use something like this, I want to show you a quick demo of how this works inside Zoho Cliq. Now we are inside Zoho Cliq interface, and I have added the bot directly into this channel. So now teams can directly chat with the bot during their conversations. So when they need to verify some documents, policies, and things like that, now they don't need to exit the chat, where go to documents, read them, and verify their policies, then continue the conversation. Now they can directly ask the bot inside the chat itself. For this demo, I have used AWS services document. So let's test out the system now with some questions. As you can see, it has replied, but not only it has replied, but it also cited the source. So you can check it later as well. So it has replied with no, you are not permitted to use facilities or allow end users to use AWS services to mine cryptocurrency. The source it has cited is 1.25 section and page number 5, right? So if we check it right now, so currently we are at page 5 and the section 1.25, you will not use and will not facilitate or allow end users to use the services to mine cryptocurrency. Let's test it out with another question as well. Same as before, it has cited the section and page number now as well. But as you can see, if we check out this section 1.4, it took this whole paragraph and formatted into a simple point so the user can understand it and get into a conclusion faster. So now instead of reading through a pages of legal text, you get a structured and clear answer inside your conversation itself. So this becomes especially useful when teams are discussing something and they need to verify some rules or policies. So before I show you the system, I will explain briefly what a RAG agent is. A RAG agent can be divided into two phases: embedding phase and retrieval phase. In embedding phase, we take the whole data, which can be any kind of document, PDF, or whatever, and the data is chunked into smaller pieces, and then this chunked data is vectorized. And vectorization is nothing but a form of data representation that the systems understands, and it also makes it efficient for the retrieval of the data. And next is a retrieval phase, and in the retrieval phase, when a users gives a prompt or a request to the AI agent, the AI agent then takes the request and does the same thing, vectorizes the request, and it will retrieve the most relevant data from its knowledge base. So, what makes the RAG agent different from a normal agent is a normal agent tends to hallucinate, and it tends to give you an answer based on what it has learned. But a RAG agent will always goes through its database, and only if and only if it has the data related to your question, it will respond. Otherwise, it will just say that it doesn't know about this or it does not have information related to this in its knowledge base. Now that you understood what a RAG agent is, now I will show you how our system is built. The system can be divided into two parts. One is front end and another is a back end. Our Zoho Cliq acts as our front end. This is where all our conversations take place. First, in your Zoho Cliq, you need to create a bot, and based on your specifications, you need to configure the bot. And not only you need to configure, you even need to code a little bit here. You need to go into something called handlers, and in handlers you will have all these options. In our case, we don't want our agent to listen to all our conversations in the channel and respond to every single one, right? So for this, I only used a single mention handler. So what this mention handler does is the agent will only reply when it is mentioned in the conversation. So this is our N8N interface. If you remember, in the RAG we had two phases, right? One is for embedding, another is for retrieval. So we need to create two different workflows for those two processes in N8N. One is responsible for the embedding, another is responsible for the retrieval. So in this workflow, this is the embedding workflow. So in this workflow, first this workflow is triggered by submitting the document you want to embed into your knowledge base. So once you submit the document, it will trigger the workflow. So this is the supervised vector store. This is responsible for the embedding our data. For the before you set it up, first you need to create a project in your Superbase and create two tables. One is for the document you want to embed. The other is for the chat history, so that it has a memory of your interactions you had. So after you create the project and the tables, you need to come over here and create a credential in your Superbase. In your Superbase integrations, you will get your API and stuff. You just need to get it over here and create your credential. After you are done creating your credential, you need to select your operation mode, which in our case is insert the document, because we are going to embed it into a knowledge base, right? So after that, you need to select in which table you want the embedded data to be inserted into. Here you need to select that table. Here you need to select the embedding batch, which can be technical, but leaving it at a default 200 is pretty all right in my opinion. After the vector store, you need to select a data loader. So this data loader will be responsible for how your data is going to be embedded. So in our case, we are embedding a PDF. So I selected a PDF, and here you need to select split pages in PDF, because if you don't select this in the demo, if you remember, you had like a citation for the section and page number, right? If you don't toggle this on, the page number section, it is going to hallucinate. So don't forget to turn it on. Here I have selected custom. If you simply select simple, it will have a default setting. But in our case, I have selected custom because I have used like a 80 pages PDF. So I had to do increase the chunk size and chunk overlap. This can be a bit technical. If you have any doubts or something, and if you have non-technical background, you can just ask ChatGPT. It will give you the accurate numbers. Once you set it all up and run this workflow, it is going to chunk the PDFs, and it will vectorize the PDF, and it stores all those data in here in this table over here. So after the embedding phase, we'll get into the retrieval phase. This retrieval phase starts with a webhook and node. If you get into this node, you will find a URL, right? If you remember in our click mention handler code, we have pasted a URL, right? So this URL acts as a bridge where the Zoho Cliq and N10 communicate over. So after getting here, once the user mentions the bot and sends their request, that request is going to be sent over to the N10. Here we will use an AI agent. This AI agent will be responsible for formatting and retrieval of our data. If you don't know how to prompt and that, you just need to give a proper request to your chat GPT or something, and it will give you a proper prompt. So after that, we are going to use this node. This is going to be a vector store retrieval node. Here we need to first in the embedding phase, we have selected insert document, right? Here you need to select retrieve document. After that, you just need to give a description using so that the agent knows what this tool is used for. So after that, when the request is sent over, the agent is going to format that request and understand it. Then it will use this embedding Google node to embed the request, and using the embedded request, it is going to retrieve the most relevant data from this table. So after retrieving that data, this AI agent is going to format the data and make it into a structured response, and that structured response is going to be sent over to the click using this respond to webhook node. After the data is sent over to the click, it is reflected in our chat, as you can see. So that's the whole workflow. Our Zoho acts as our front end and our n8n acts as our back end. And in n8n, we have two phases. One is user to embed your data, another is user to retrieve our data. And all the data is going to be stored in our super base. So all our data is going to be centralized in one database, which we can view, edit, or delete afterwards based on our requirements. So to summarize, this is a RAG-based agent that works directly inside Zoho Cliq. It let teams ask questions to the tools they are already familiar with and grounded by the facts of their internal documents. If you use Zoho Click and are interested in workflows similar to this, you can reach out to me. I'll build custom workflows for you based on your use cases. So that's it for today. Thank you for watching. Oh, by the way, if you are interested in automating your inbound leads, you can check out this video.